Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for a Japanese build. I'm building this in Mount Komorebi, which is part of Snow Escape. The whole pack and world are Japan themed, and I wanted to create something in this style. As always, when I'm working on a build like this, I do not claim that this is completely authentic. I'm doing my best here. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm just using the objects from all these packs, and I'm doing my best, and I'm always open for feedback. I'm always open to learn something, and I just hope that you will enjoy this build, which was created on a 50 by 50 lot. So this is another quite spacious build. My last build was really huge, 64 by 64 lot. I've created a whole town or community. In case you haven't watched it yet, you can go check it out. I'm just so proud of this one. I think it turned out super fun. And I was in the mood to work on another quite spacious build. And I started off, as you saw, by building a river. For this, I just used the terrain tools. I laid out the shape of the river, and then I used the water tool to fill in the hole in the ground, essentially. And I'm going to make some changes to this. You can here see that I filled the complete area with water, so it's completely filled to the brim, kind of. And I'm going to reduce the water surface level because I wanted this to look almost like a canal. I'm also going to use some debug columns to make it look less natural. I was going for a very specific look. My last build inspired me a bit for this, and I then just built a bridge. And the bridge is really eye-catching. It's not just a regular bridge, but it also has a roof and lots of decorations. I used some awnings to decorate the roof to make it look extra special. I also used a roof decoration from Cottage Living, which is this wood plank. I just wanted to add lots of details to this bridge. And the bridge is kind of untethered from the rest of the build. So what I did was I built a room, a floor piece on top. I deleted the room, and then I had my floating floor piece. I brought it onto the correct level and just decided where I want it to be. You here just saw how I made some changes to this, like to the height of the bridge, and I then connected it using stairs. It's always a problem in this game when you try to connect different foundation heights and all that, but the easiest way to connect everything is by just using some stairs, because the game allows you to do that. You can here see this. I couldn't move the bridge closer to the platform on the right side because of conflicting block clusters. This is the error the game gives you, but if you just use some stairs, you can just kind of bridge the gap, literally, and it works out perfectly fine. And I then started to work on a small building on the right side. This is supposed to be an onsen kind of later on. I'm going to place the hot springs on the inside. It's quite small. I couldn't place anything else on the inside. At first I wanted to turn this into a bedroom or maybe something different, but then I thought, okay, this is Mount Komorebi. I want to stay within the theme of the pack, so I decided to use this building for the hot springs. And here I'm using lots of debug rocks to decorate the river, and I'm using debug rocks from Snowy Escape because they are just perfect for this. And then I built another bridge, and you can here see how I'm using the same method essentially. I once again placed a room, a floor piece on top, and I then just expanded my floor piece. I then removed a part of the foundation because, again, the same issue, they cannot meet, they cannot touch, or it's going to give you the conflicting block clusters error. So I need a gap in between, and I then have to place some stairs, and this is what I'm doing here right now. And I'm also struggling a bit. I'm just trying to find the correct position, and I then placed the stairs. The bridge is diagonally. We cannot place stairs diagonally still, sadly, so I just had to place them this way, which looks super cute though. And in this case, I just like to place some rocks or plants in the center to make it look really nice. But of course, I'm still hoping, just like anyone else, that we might get some diagonal stairs one day, because I feel like this is essential. Like, we are all hoping for different updates and maybe even some round walls, like the fancy stuff, but I feel like diagonal stairs are like so basic. They are just a essential in build mode. I just really hope that we get them before we get anything else, kind of. Like, I'm really keen on different things, like around pools and walls and just everything, but maybe we can just get some diagonal stairs stairs first at some point. I mean, I have no idea about game development, but I really wonder why it's not working, like why it's not possible, but I have no idea about that. So I cannot really say a lot about this, to be honest. I then decorated using lots of trees from the pack, and this is like really easy in my opinion when you really work on a build that matches the world you're building in, like in this case Japanese themed, and you just use all the objects from a pack. I feel like the style just comes along so naturally. It's really easy and smooth and fun, like when you try to create a really specific style that is not part of the game, you really have to think hard which objects to use. But here in this case, you just pick all the objects and it just starts to look Japanese, kind of like the roof swatches, the furniture. It's just perfect. And I then started to build the house, and this area down here, like you can see, this will be a pool, kind of like a hidden pool in a cave, which looks extra fun. And I then just started to expand the build more and more, and I used this roof swatch because I figured this is such a nice contrast, because I've used this dark wooden tones and they are really warm and beautiful. And I have a nice contrast because the roof swatch is cool toned, and I just wanted to have this beautiful contrast. And I also wanted to have like some type of balcony going around. Also, I did a reminder in case you've missed it. I have a new shell challenge up. It's an underwater shell, which is like extra exciting because I'm obsessed with underwater builds. Shell challenges are always so fun. So I thought that you might enjoy an underwater shell challenge, and there are big prizes, and it's like one of the most amazing challenges I've ever created. And you should go check it out, especially if you are really into shell challenges. And I think that it's like so much fun. I can't wait to see what you will all create. I just wanted to mention this in case you've missed it. And here you can see how I'm deciding on a color scheme, because I wanted to have like a nice mix. I wanted to have this dark wood tone, but then I also wanted to have a cool contrast, as I said. But then I noticed that you couldn't really see the windows. Like when I used the dark swatch of the window on the dark wall, it wasn't really that visible. So I decided to also incorporate this beautiful, more bright or lighter wooden tone, and I then started to work on the outside area, which was extra fun because landscaping is the best. And I used a combination of debug rocks and these regular base game rocks, and I just placed them so it would look really natural. So I wanted to have this more not so natural looking candle on the right side, but then I wanted to have like some natural aspects on the left side, and I created a path in the front where Sims are walking up to the house. The house itself, as you can probably already tell, isn't that big. I've used a 50 by 50 lot, so I would have lots of space to create the river, to do lots of landscaping, to have a really beautiful lot. So this isn't really one of those really gigantic mansions or anything. It's more compact. It's the perfect house for a small sim family, and there's just lots of landscaping. So if you are into this type of lot, a bit more compact, very manageable, but lots of landscaping and a nice vibe, then this house might be for you and your sims. I'm always so excited when someone like is using my builds. And speaking of which, I hit 100,000 followers on the Sims 4 gallery, which is incredible. I can't believe it. I want to thank you so much. And I just can't believe it. It's just a crazy number to me. Like, I never thought this. Like, the same happened when I hit like 100K on YouTube, which was like the most exciting milestone ever when I got the play button. I couldn't wrap my head around the number. But for some reason, it feels even more crazy in the gallery. It's like such a incredible number, and I'm just so thankful for all of you, for anyone who supports me. And yeah, so all my builds are available in the gallery. You can just grab them. I also offer tray files on Patreon. They all go public after around 2 weeks, so you can also just grab the tray files. And of course, I'm really thankful if you support me on Patreon. I appreciate your support so much. But you can also grab all my builds from the gallery. Right after uploading a video, the build goes up in the gallery usually, so you can just let your Sims move in. And yeah, in case you should use this house here, I hope your Sims will enjoy it. I used more columns to do the landscaping, and also this floor, which is like some type of sand. It's like for these rock gardens, which are really popular in Japan, and I decided to use this area in the front also to create a rock garden, because it's just a must for a build like this, and I love this vibe. And I just used more of these columns to have a beautiful round shape. I filled in the area using the floor, and I have to say sometimes the floor is kind of glitching, like when you rotate a lot or place a build on a different lot, sometimes you don't have these circles. You just saw how I've created these circles where I've placed the rocks using the floor, and you just have a quarter of a circle, and then you place 4 of these floor pieces to create a circle, and you want the circle to align with the rest of the floor. And sometimes when you place the lot on a different lot, like same size but different world or something, or you turn it around, you don't have circles anymore, and the floor is kind of glitching out. So in case this happens to you with this lot or any other lot, really, you just have to create your own circles, I guess. There's no way to fix this, really. You just use the floor, go over it, and create your own circle. And here I'm working on the indoor pool. It's not really indoor because it's on the outside and it's hidden down there. My idea was that you could just swim in the pool, and the water surface of the river or lake is so close that you would have this beautiful view, just like an infinity pool kind of, but it's not infinity, but this type of vibe when you have an infinity pool and you look over the edge and you just see the ocean in the background, for example, and like really fancy houses. And I wanted to have this vibe, and I also just wanted to use this area in a really cool way, so I just decided to build a pool down there. Here I've raised an area using platforms, and I've placed tatami mats. And when I created some builds in the past, right after the pack came out, people corrected me when I used these in the whole house, because you're only allowed to step on these without any shoes, and it's like really particular how and where to use them. So in this case, I made sure to only use the mats on this area, so the Sims can just take off their shoes and step on there and sit down and eat, for example. I hope that I did it right this time around. And you can here see I've used some tables or surface from Dine Out, and I wanted to have like a modern vibe as well. The pack has some really traditional yet modern vibes in my opinion. You can even see it when you look at the sofa or the armchair. So I wanted to have a nice combination. So it's a bit modern but also very traditional. As I said earlier, this pack has so many amazing objects. When you just pick all the objects from this pack, no matter if you're working on an office nook, kitchen, dining area, it doesn't matter. As long as you use all the objects from the pack, it just comes along and looks really nice. And this is what I did. You can see this. I've used all the objects from the pack at this point, and I also created a custom shelf. For this, I've used an object from Decor to the Max, and then I used some base game shelves, and I'm just going to place some decorations in there because I really wanted this to look modern and beautiful, and I just placed a bit of decoration in there kind of. And I really like that it's like really wonderfully furnished and that there aren't any open empty areas, but at the same time it doesn't seem too crammed in or too tiny. I think it looks really realistic, and I hope that it's also fun to play in this house. I play tested this, and I hope that you will be happy with this. And here I'm working on a bathroom. I have to admit, at this point I realized, okay, we need a bathroom in this house. All the Sims will have a big problem, so I just built this very simple modern bathroom down there, and up there will be 2 bedrooms, you will see. So it's really compact. But first we take a look at the kitchen. So I used the counters from the pack. I wanted to use some island counters and also some bar stools, but then I realized that I really have to put them in front of the windows, because otherwise it would have been really too small to just crammed in. I really had to make sure where to place them. And I just wanted to have this nice color combination. We have this very dark floor and also the front of the counters, but then the countertops. The boss duels have this really light color. It's a nice contrast. It looks very warm and inviting. I love the style and the packages so much. And here I'm working on a bedroom, and there are 2 bedrooms up there. And also I'm just talking about amazing packs and everything, and tomorrow the werewolves pack comes out, and I'm just so excited for this. I'm going to prepare something today, actually, some extra ready tomorrow, and I think I'm just going to prepare something on a lot, like in any world, I don't know where, in which size, and then I'm just going to transfer what I've built onto a lot in the new world tomorrow, and then I'm going to finish it using the new objects, because I'm just so excited that I have to just try to create something from the ideas that I have. So in case you are watching the video, then don't I hope you're not confused when I start to build a different lot, but we will see. And at this point, I'm just finishing the onsen. I'm just placing a hot spring in there. It's like a really small building, and the Sims can actually get in and just enjoy the hot spring if they want. And this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope your Sims will enjoy this build, and I just hope you're doing super well. And you can grab this build from the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald, and you can grab the trade files from my Patreon. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons. A big thank you to Anna, Asia, Emma Barnes, Lisa Martin, Miku GDJ, Saturated Spark, Shanna McClam, Talena Lynn, Stephen, and Tina Turner. Thank you so much for your huge support. A big thank you to all my other Patreons, and of course, a big thank you to anyone who watches my videos. I love you all so much. I wish you a perfect day, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye!